NBA is back, started back yesterday on the 18th. We have 2 games, and let's talk about fantasy basketball. Again, happy to be back. First game is the Sixers. Lost with the Boston Celtics 117-126. Sixers, they got a couple of additions over the summer. PJ Tucker, obviously. They got Montrezl Harrell. They got D'Anthony Melton, Daniel House. All these guys were not on the roster last year. And the biggest difference this game we could see is that Harden looks like he's back. 35 points, 12 for 12 on the free throw line, had 5 threes, good field goal percentage. He shot 41% from the floor last year. And I think he still finished top, on a per game basis, top 11, top 12 because of the high assist. This game, no defensive stats. Yeah, I mean, if Harden can keep this up, easily top 5, top 3, I think. With Harden, his fantasy game is just too good. All the peripheral stats, a lot of rebound, a lot of assists, steals, blocks, and super, super good with his free throw. Hit a lot of threes, can score a bunch. So we'll see how Harden would do. I mean, only concern really is his health. Look really good. Tyrese Maxey, 21 points. He was a guy that's in category leagues. I'm not the biggest fan. He does play a lot of minutes, 30 minutes, unless you have an efficient team. I'm not a Tyrese Maxey fan. He's a guy that's drafted in the top 60 or 70s. But there's no peripheral stats at all. And he's a guy that if I can get a top 40 or do a 2-for-1 to get a struggling top 30, 40 player, I would do it. Joel Embiid, Harden really had it going. So only 26 points. I still think he's the favorite to win the scoring title or whatever, even though Harden went off. If Harden has a lot more games, like Joel Embiid by far is still the number one option on this team. So he should be fine. 26 points, 15 rebounds, still good. Struggled a little bit against the Celtics defense, had 6 turnovers. But, not a bad start. For him, it's also about health. PJ Tucker, not really fantasy relevant. Tobias Harris, everybody played well this game offensively because they scored 117 points. But I could see Tobias, Tyrese Maxey, and Harden struggle with their shot a lot of the times. And with D'Anthony Melton coming in, Matisse Thybulle just doesn't get minutes. If he gets 20 to 25 minutes, we could always stream this guy for defensive stats. He could win you steals just by himself. Could average 3 steals a week, a game. But right now, looking at the Sixers roster, really not much to talk about. Everybody is really no upside and not producing, I don't think, with the full squad healthy. PJ Tucker, you could make an argument to stream him for rebound and threes if they got a back-to-back. Other than that, as we can see, he doesn't do anything. For the Celtics, Vonleh is the only interesting guy. I didn't know he's on the Celtics. But Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, again, they lost in the finals last year. They should have that should lit a fire under them. They should be playing hard, which is what the fantasy owners are looking at. Both had 35 points. Tatum is, he's a first round guy. On a per game basis, probably not. A little bit outside of 10, but he's young. Should have a great season. Same thing with Jaylen Brown. If he can fix his free throws, which he did this game, 3 for 3. So really good game. They scored 126 points. Sixers defense were kind of lacking this game. So let's see if Tatum and Brown can keep it up. Tatum is the guy that we could think about potentially sell high to get one of those top 5 players. Because he's not very consistent. He goes up and down. Al Horford is the starting center. Had played 23 minutes. Have 4 fouls. Yeah, I mean, Al Horford, give him 25 to 30 minutes. He's going to be fantasy relevant. So don't drop him, after a couple of rough games. Derrick White, not the biggest. Both Derrick White and Malcolm Brogdon, if any of them, I mean, Malcolm Brogdon is getting drafted in a lot more leagues than Derrick White. But Brogdon, if he goes off, play for 30 minutes, whatever, perfect time to get rid of him to do a 2-for-1, whatever. I don't think with everybody healthy, he's just not getting the minutes, right? Because Derrick White has to play around 20 minutes, right? They're sharing the backup or shooting guard role, so it's just, I feel like there's not enough minutes and they got to play Grant Williams a little bit, and Robert Williams is gonna be back. So all those situations. Same thing with Al Horford. Like if Al Horford plays well, try to trade him as well because Robert Williams eventually is gonna be back, and he's gonna be the center. Not necessarily play 30 minutes, but 25 minutes a night. Pretty sure. Blake Griffin is really not fantasy relevant. Grant Williams getting 24 minutes. Yeah, all these guys, everybody healthy. Not really much to talk about. In the early season, you really should focus on hunting guys with higher upside. And because all these teams are contenders, nobody's really that worth picking up early in the season. For the Lakers, damn, their roster just I picked up Lonnie Walker for streaming. I did not expect him to play 29 minutes, honestly. But then you look at the rest of the roster, you're not that surprised. What is this roster? I didn't know it's this bad, but they need like Patrick Beverley is a great addition. But playing all of them together, they shot what 25% from three, because Kendrick now went 3 for 6. LeBron made some threes, in the second half. But this team is not going anywhere. But Patrick Beverley is a guy that we should definitely stream at least 100% stream and roster. I mean, he had 4 steals and 2 blocks. He's a guy that give you a bunch of peripheral stats. He could be a worse player on your team if you can't find anybody else you like with a higher upside. But there should be somewhere out there. If we're talking about fantasy playoffs, then sure, hold on to Patrick Beverley. But I think there's some guys out there that, especially bad teams or young teams, worth grabbing. I guess maybe we could wait till tomorrow to see. AD and LeBron both played 35 minutes. AD was a team worst minus 21. But put up a pretty decent line. Only 6 rebounds. He's starting off the center, so he should be grabbing more rebounds. I mean, Russell Westbrook, I guess, took a lot of rebounds from him. Same with LeBron. But he should be averaging 9-10 rebounds. I'm not too worried about that. 4 steals is really good at the block. For him, it's really about staying healthy and whether he can hit his free throws. 78%, you can't really complain. If he can get back up to his level 2 seasons ago, like he'll be top 5 player as well. If not top 10, but injury concerns is always there with him. LeBron always try to sell high. If you can get a top 10 guy, if you can get like Karl Anthony Towns for LeBron, let's say Cat struggles a little bit, you absolutely do it. Same thing, like Curry's another older guy. I'm trying to think what other top. Like if Jason Tatum's struggling for 2 weeks straight, you should 100% trade LeBron for him as well. It's just like who knows? If Lakers are out of the playoffs, that's another thing. Even though with the plays it will be kind of hard because you have to be outside the 10 seed. But yeah, just a lot of rest coming down. That's really the only concern. Russell Westbrook didn't play so bad. 7 for 12 from the field, only 4 turnovers kind of sucks. But the efficiency is not bad. Again, try to tell him if he goes off or if LeBron or AD gets hurt or whatever, he plays 35 minutes, had a triple-double. But this Lakers one, nobody's really worth picking up. Lonnie Walker, you could stream him, but everybody else is really, there's absolutely nothing. For the Warriors, if you look at the minutes, it is kind of interesting. Even though it was a kind of a blowout, it was a blowout. It was a blowout, sorry. But Klay Thompson didn't play in the fourth quarter at all, but he only ended up with 20 minutes. Draymond played 24, so if it's a close competitive game, maybe Draymond could. But nobody on the Warriors, like Steve Kerr said before the season, they're not playing Celtics minutes. Like Tatum and Brown, they played huge minutes. Lakers, they need LeBron and he played 35 a night. For the Warriors, it's like because you got Jordan Poole, you got Klay Thompson. Poole played 20 minutes, so if Poole has a couple good games, 100% try to trade him. 2 for 1 to get a top 50 player. As long as Curry is healthy, Poole can still go off, but it's maybe like, it's the main thing with him is his minute upside when everybody's healthy. He's not getting 30 minutes consistently every night. Even though he can do enough damage in 25, 26 minutes. But for a guy that he would get drafted pretty high as well, top 60, top 70. Klay Thompson as well. So, still early in the season, if they play well, using that and get, just trade them because, a lot of the times when you propose trade early in the season, they look at the drafted rankings. So if it's a 60, 70 guy and do a 2-for-1, I don't, really realistically for Clay, and he's going to be out for back to backs. He's not even in my eyes. I don't think he's a top 100 guy in my eyes. Jordan Poole obviously should be better than Clay, but it's it requires some things like courage to rest, stuff like that. Draymond Green, same thing. It's this Warriors squad. That's always the concern. With another year, all these young guys, like Steve Kerr, will be more than happy to play the young guys more if Moody started playing well, right? If Jonathan Kuminga started playing well. They also have Dante DiVincenzo, a lot of young guys that Steve Kerr is not afraid to give more minutes to, and then reduce even Curry's minutes. Curry, Draymond, Jordan Poole, if he plays well, he's gonna play. Clay, he'll be more than happy to give them a rest. So that's the concern with Warriors. So if Jordan Poole has to compete with so many other minutes, they're playing like 10 man, 11 man. So Warriors, if they're playing well, like Curry, first game really good. If you can't get a Jason Tatum, I would probably try to do it. It's close, but I'll probably do it. But obviously Tatum also played well. But if any of the top 10 guys that started struggling, I would try to make a trade. But that's it, guys. See you guys tomorrow.